doing the second half of the talents, so drawing. Anyone knows me knows that drawing isn't my favourite thing, but first a couple bugs that came up in the last session that I played before. Before stopping yesterday. Yeah, I just did an interview this morning, but yeah, so one of the things was the bats didn't have wings, and it's because, as always, I'm a bit of a moron. I forgot to do this, just this line here, and then here, where we actually make the profile. I don't even need that debug because I expect it to work. So I'm just going to quickly test that, and we've got a couple bugs on the list here. Rampart's not selectable as level, and test and fix Sky Ripper. Although I am just going to do the bats one for now, because changing hats is not that easy. Let's put on took off my job hunting, preparing for and doing an interview hat, and now doing my I don't want to get stuck into the bug fixing programming hat. I do want to get into the drawing hat, get my drawing hat on. So yeah, we've got these symbols. I'm quite happy with these, like very rough sort of bits of pixel art here. But yeah, we're not going to go. If we go a higher level of detail than this, then we're going to do it across the board. So yeah, these all look like the thing that they are. That's the important thing. It doesn't have to look beautiful, but I like it to be colourful and have a good range of colour. And I like it to be clear what it is and to have a clear visual language. So the symbol for a critical hit is an upside down yellow star. And we're going to keep that as we go into artifacts as well. Because I'm going to do a little glow up to how artifacts look. Okay, but first, let's try out the bats. Should we just do a playthrough as well? So I'm going to play as Basma. There are problems with reviving, but not insurmountable. And yeah, I guess let's do the planes, and let's just get some free bats and see if they fly. Kill a chicken, chance to drop chicken and kill. Looter's buff, give a random buff to allies whenever a special item is picked up. I guess the chicken is good. Oh wait, what? Oh, I must have not saved that. Player controller. Oh, I forgot to put in this word. Right, lovely. As always, genius level programmer. So do you have to be smart to be a programmer? It helps, but it's not essential. You'll just have extra work. Ooh, Vengeful is very good for the undead class, especially for if you're doing summoning. Yeah, it's a bat. It's flying. Yeah, and it's fun. It looks fun and cute. Yeah, just kind of gives a little bit of character to. Reviving doesn't seem to be working, or at least they're not getting the health bar. So I need to figure out what's going on with that. Lovely. Okay, so yeah, perhaps since I've changed. Yeah, I didn't want to get bogged down into this kind of stuff, but revive, resurrect, old method for picking resurrection targets. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we pick someone to revive, and then what do we do with them? Okay, so that's picking the target, and then down here, what's the difference? Update hero, and then what's this? Update all. Oh yeah, because I've copied and pasted that. Ooh. Very bad there, but yeah, so resurrect, what does it do? Raise undead, Yeah. And then there should be a point where we debug.log, I don't know, corpse.name is being resurrected. And okay, yeah, I'll just add that to the list. Bats now working. And resurrection. Because yeah, I changed the way the object pooling worked for characters, so that's probably it. Or maybe I am resurrecting, but it's just not giving the thing. We'll figure that out. Hopefully in the process fix that bug that's been bugging me. But let's get into drawing. So I will get a script that shows all my talents. And spiked armor. So this really is just going to be armor, but with spikes on it. So let's try and make like a sort of universal spike. Should we do it on layer 2? I think that's probably good practice. And so we've got a couple things to consider here. So I imagine a spike would be white. Would it have a black outline? Or does it look better without a black outline? And is that the right shape? Should it be longer? No, I think with the black outline looks better. I think that's a good look. So we'll just copy that along about the place. Nice and easy. Nothing crazy. Let's do yeah, some kind of rhyme and reason to it. And the fact that I did it on another layer means I don't really have to mess around with shading. So that's good. We'll just put them all over the place, right? Like we could go with more spiky. Like just like big spiky shoulders. Yeah, let's do something like that. So first off, I think it's easier to draw it than to mess around with flipping mechanics, mirroring mechanics. I think it's probably better just to draw it again in reverse. And I will try to oh sort of have it somewhat symmetrical, right? Just kind of matching the shape a little bit of the armor. So we've got 2 rows. And then I think what might be quite fun, a worthwhile bit of effort, would be, oh, this is all wrong, would be to have it like actually have like big old spikes on the shoulders. So again, we're on layer 2, so we can't mess with things too much, but yeah, like a big old spike, right? Like boom. I'll use the line tool. Just so it stands out a bit better. Do a little bit of subtle shading on that, just to help it feel pointy, help it feel round. Let's get that tip in. Yeah, I think that's better than just, you know. And then should this have an outline here? Yeah. Maybe it can be this color. Wait. Just so it's a bit more subtle, but just like a slight indentation in the armor. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay. Should I mirror that, or should I? Yeah, let's mirror it. So. Yeah, that'll do. I don't want to spend forever on these. Okay. Then we've got Lifesteal, which at the moment is like a sort of pair of fangs, and I think that's cool. I'll keep that. So I'll do, and yeah, so we can do a bit better than that. So we will have. So yeah, that's the old spiked armor. So yeah, we're definitely making improvements here. So we will go with. I'll try and draw some like organic looking teeth, like fangs. With like dripping blood. And then how do we handle the top of the fangs? I think just. Yeah, so like we'll do the sort of little gummy shaped bumps, and let's give that. And then you don't have to get the colors perfect for now, but yeah, and a bit of shading. Does that work? We'll see. We can modify it from the other side, but let's just get the bulk of it done. And I think part of what's not working for this right now is, so yeah, avoid shading around the tip because that ends up making it look less sharp. I think one thing that's not working is the teeth aren't like a solid piece, so we actually need teeth to be like separated. Except this line should be coming this way. And I wonder if it's bothersome that like actually we should have 4 teeth in the middle, because 3 teeth looks a bit too like weird and alien, doesn't it? So yeah, let's do that. So let's fix this. Let's see if we can just wedge another tooth in there so we don't have to start from scratch. And finish this one. And then a bit of shading here. Get that sense of the fangs being kind of out front by having more shading on the inside. Even if these fangs end up looking heavily shaded. I mean, I respect artists, like I am not one. I don't really know what I'm doing, but you know, we can try. And so yeah, a bit of shading. Interesting thing about these like long black tips, because it's like actually the outline ends up giving it that sharpness. Yeah, this is looking good. And then I think crucial to this is having a bit of blood. And I think not hard red, but like blood red. Boxing glove, that was the old knockback color. But like, it was changed to color later, but yeah, I think it's important that we have like blood dripping, and that helps us with our kind of funky shading and outline issue. Does this make the game not PG? I don't know. It's blood, isn't it? Could be ketchup. Could be some kind of Heinz baked bean sauce. And like, it looks a bit weird, but yeah, I think that sort of gets across lifesteal. Looks like kind of some weird vampire fangs or something. So I think we'll call that done in the interest of time and effort and all of that stuff. Putting effort where it's needed. So spiked armor, lifesteal, rain of chicken. Rain of chicken's easy. We take a chicken. Luckily we already have one here. So let's grab that nice and wide, and then we can delete the edges. Rather than me opening the file, going and finding the file with the chicken on it. I think what I had before for Reign of Chicken, yeah, it was something like that. So we had these like small chickens. That messes with the shading. But I don't think it's like necessarily lazy to just... Is that how the chicken is? Huh. Yeah, it is missing a pixel there. Guess I should go back to the original item sprite. Okay. So we have piece of chicken, and then we want it to like convey rain of chicken. So like maybe some like motion lines. We take like, yeah, I guess this color. And we do like, and then what I'm gonna need to do is like have like a smaller version of the chicken. So maybe I can actually just copy this. It's not the same color. That's horrendous. Yes, let's bring all this down a bit. Let's homogenize the colors. let's flip this. Wait. Yeah, so we get rid of this one. And throw a few of these around maybe. Kind of somewhat randomly placed, I guess kind of framed a bit. And then just some like motion lines to show that these chicken are falling. Does that look like it's going to make chicken fall out of the sky? I think again I feel like I could do better than this, but like I'm going to move on to the next one. Dagger provisions. So we've got dagger provisions and shield provisions, and at the moment it's looked like that shield provisions. This is dagger provisions, so we like draw the bean, and I think that's probably a good shout. So like we have our like symbol for bean. Let's say let's do two-tone in case I want to change it. And then we draw a shield. Basically, we could even probably go in and yeah, let's grab the actual shield, see if it fits. Yeah, I reckon that kind of works. Yeah. Nice and simple, right? Nothing crazy. And it's just communicating what it is. Like if you can't have beautiful art, at least make it clear what the thing does by how it looks. And then we'll do the same with dagger. And again, yeah, let's use the tier 3 dagger. So then we'll do copy this one. Get rid of the shield, put dagger instead, put it in place. Feels a bit maybe like the dagger's too small. Shield looks about right. Dagger looks a bit bitsy, doesn't it? But I think that works. Again, I don't want to spend too long here. I just wanted to sort of just have a slight improvement here. Like, unless I feel inspired to really do some beautiful art, like, best thing is just kind of do what we came here for. Okay, so time magic, I think so far was like a clock. And I think that will work well. Yeah, it's a clock with some like speed lines coming off it. So we'll do that. So we'll do a nice sphere. Let's do it in black. Circle tool. Shift. I keep letting go of shift before I let go of the mouse. Okay, and then what is it about this color that was working? I don't know, but I'll keep it. And then yeah, black handles, and we'll do the same sort of, it's 3 o'clock. And then maybe what we could do is, let's get that other color. And try and kind of do that inside. So we go from here to here. Yeah, I could see a bit of texture. Should we put numbers or like little symbols? Or is that not necessary? Maybe little arrows. Yeah, I think that adds to it.
Okay, what is that? What is that?
And then would we have maybe just a bit, just quarters or
Okay, you will sleep it? You will sleep it?
so where exactly does that live? So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then no, it's not in the middle at all. And I'd say I don't know what a clock looks like. That's the upload speed today, because yesterday it was dismal. And I think it's my fault because I had torrents open. As I said, I'm a moron. You know, can you make games if you're a moron? I don't know. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Yeah. So, where would these be? Yeah, I think that does help make it look like a clock. Even though there's no numbers there, it just kind of helps say clock rather than circle with an L in it. And I'm just going to flip this because it's going to be easier to do it like that. if this can be truly centered. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. And then we've got our like speed lines coming off it. And I guess these could be, we could do both colors. I guess it actually should probably sit there. Okay, that, yeah. Should these be doubled? Because they look a bit like spotty, don't they? Could have just done double lines rather than single lines, but it's probably easier just to fix it after the fact now. Oh, maybe it's like some of them should be single, some of them should be double, right? Just to sort of give a sense that, like, give a sense of depth. And then we could go crazy and make one of them a triple or something. With more of the thin ones sort of at the bottom and the sides. Yeah, I don't know if that just looks messy now. And then maybe like, yeah, I think that looks good. Again, not going to dwell too much on any one of these. It's definitely, it's an improvement. That's the main thing. Space magic. So we have like a sort of galaxy with little stars in it, and so it just looks like what we think of when we say space. It's the only one to have a black background, and yeah. So we'll do our little sort of ring planet. This one, the sort of ring was slightly off center, and I think it looked better. But let's do some stars. So we do like, yeah, it's little. second layer, so it's easier to manage them. Just dot them around a bit. There's not one right on the edge. That doesn't look good. For some reason, don't ask me why. But if it's on the edge, it's like, just feels wrong. Just the sphere is better. Could this be thicker? I don't know. No, I think it's fine. And is that then? What am I missing? Yeah, it seems to be good. I think that looks good. And it's got that same kind of, it's like our ice colors, but I guess it's also kind of magic colors. Yeah, looks good to me. Okay, next up is chains. So this one's fairly straightforward. I can start by taking black weapons. They actually have a chain, and I'd like to use the same sort of method. What did it look like before? There it is, just a bit of chain. So this is the weapon that is a chain, and I just want to grab like a link. Just kind of remind myself how it looks as well. So we grab a link, and we go up here. Wish I could just like rotate selection. But like, I mean, I don't just want to take the weapon that is a chain, because that's sort of like that for a reason. But then what shape do I want? What an awful turn up for the stream. 40 minutes, no one's joined. Never mind. Could I do like bendy bits? I mean, we might be better off like coming up with like a big object that's like, so we do like a bit of chain, just like a big like symbol for chain. So make it nice and thick. And that's like our symbol for chain, rather than having an actual chain. And we give it, I wonder if it should have an outline rather than just being a solid color. But we would stick with our sort of color scheme for this. Wait. And then yeah, maybe just with the white outline like we have here. And oh, I don't. Yeah, I think the easiest thing is just going to be to do this manually, so I can get rid of. So yeah, let's just do it again. Do it fresh. Make one circle. And then give it our, and then make that this color. And then get our white color. Just give it an outline, thickens it up, but also gives it some, makes it look a little bit less lazy, I guess. Should have done that on the outside first as well, never mind. As I said, I am a bit of a moron and I make a lot of mistakes. Yeah, I mean that works as our symbol, doesn't it? Okay, chain plague. I'm not actually sure about plague in general as a, but essentially it's like poison. It's like a very enhanced version of poison. But it sort of doesn't tend to come up. So generally what I would do is if I'm doing a debuff build, so whatever reason I'm chasing a debuff, so here's on game design, for whatever reason I'm chasing a debuff, therefore I'll pick poison, and then I'm likely to pick critical, because that would combine, like if I know what I'm doing, I'll pick critical, because then critical and poison will combine to make my faction debuff, which is just generally better. And plague, what that does is it spreads plague to nearby units, which also I think could end up being an optimization issue. So in the tests I've done since adding Plague to the game, I've never got it because I'm always chasing a debuff. So what kind of decision, what kind of different type of decision making? So like if I'm chasing debuffs but like and I think it's poison plus AoE. So I'm going to go for a quick smoke while I think about that. Be right back. machine's fun, isn't it? Goes over the long grass, but once it's gone over, the grass behind it is short. Because it's been cut by the grass cutter. It's right here. Yeah, you can do that. I have to go to work. We can play a bit. When I finish work, we can go out together for a bit, yeah? Yeah? Oh, my boy. My little boy. Daddy loves you very much. Daddy loves you very much. Maybe. Oh, you can help. The shopping's gonna come soon, and you can help Mummy with the shopping. Okay, where are we at? Yeah, so plague. What would be a fun talent to have? Because we've got like AoE. Like I'm thinking something fun like when an enemy dies, it sort of explodes and then gives all its debuffs to nearby enemies. Right? So enemy dies, explodes, gives its debuffs to different enemies. So it becomes, but that's still like a debuff build. How would that work with things like Charm? Or like Necromancer, like the revived buff, because that works with the buff system. Maybe plague is fine, or like debuff spread, or some kind of new debuff. Or then maybe we should think of something else, like, so if it's not, like you haven't got a buff build, but you've got like something to do with healing or AoE, poison plus AoE would be like when an enemy dies with a debuff, it spreads it to nearby enemies. Okay, yeah, so we'll do replace plague with explosive, and then it's like it's an explosion, it does damage. Or just that generally debuffs. The thing is, the debuff thing is like, if I'm picking a debuff, I'm going to go with like my faction debuff. Right? So if it's humans, it would be fire. Undead, it would be ice. But then the alternative, the other direction you can go would be plague with, would be... Yeah, so like when a unit dies, they pass on any debuffs they have to other units, which, and then who counts as having delivered that debuff, because that'll mean something. And then I'm thinking of like explosion builds. Yeah, like debuff explosion. Like something mana related. Like attacking an enemy with a debuff gives you mana. That would be the most, that would fit in the best with everything else. That would like fill a need. Mana bomb, like... I don't want to spend too long thinking about this. With mana bomb slash explosive debuffs. Or maybe just plague is fine. But like we've gone for AoE, so like we would expect it to like... It sounds like more like an artifact, like when an enemy dies. We kind of just want to give a stat. For most of these, it's a buff or a stat. Okay, well let's do the other ones first. I mean, well, actually, the next one is Flame Heart, and I kind of want to have like a consistent language for this. So like Flame Heart, Spark of Life, Rigor Mortis, and then Kaikum. Did I not do a sprite for Kaikum? Oh, I guess I need to do that. Kaikum is the demon one. It gives everyone a debuff. I mean, it does a random of the other 3 effects. So, like...
Puedes seguir viendo Book. Sí, mi amor, me parece una excelente idea. Lo que tú quieras.
If it was Plague, what would it look like? So for now, I'll keep it as Plague. We'll put a pin in it. And we'll make it look like this. So I'll copy this. But green. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but we take this color and put it here. And this color. Like that. So it's just a green, yeah, and just for the sake of like, I'm not even decided on this yet. I just want to give it a bit of a glow up, especially since we have Bullet Fest coming up soon. So, right, so then Flame Heart. So this is like critical plus. So what if we kept this? And then to be like really simplistic and perhaps lazy, we can take that and then just kind of have a flame. So I'll do like similar shapes to what I have here. So I'll do like a little... layer 2. Was I looking for again? These ones. Yeah, so like some kind of crystal, like a droplet. So droplet. Let's try that again. How did I do it here? didn't do a bad job here. So yeah, we just kind of fill that in. Like yeah, bits of like sliding. These are my lightning colors. Yeah. Let's bring this up so I can easily reference it. So yeah, just like the lightning bolt symbol. It's actually harder to draw than it looks. Yeah. Just a bit of detail makes it look a bit more fantastical. Kind of cold rays coming off it. Okay, yeah, again, like, I hate doing things that I'm not good at. Nobody does, really. Nobody does like them. But then we have this clean list of all the talents. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13. And then Kaikum would be the combination of all three. Oh yeah, I think I did draw that. So we can take this, and then actually maybe what I want to do is actually take these. So we'll do one of these, delete that. Yeah, again, just going for clear visual language, nice bits of color, not trying to win any awards for art really. And there we have it, so we can export that. Let's do it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And we are just going to be brave, and we've got backups, and we can just overwrite talents. Okay. So now we're going to have an issue. So we want to go into sprites. Where's it gone? Talents. Oh, there it is. Okay, and I'm just going to redo these completely. So can I clear? Cell size 96 by 96. Delete existing. Then we go into scenes, main game, get our GM. And yeah, there is the question of should these progress in the same way? So that means I would have to draw each of them 3 more times. But like slightly better versions each time. Which to be honest sounds like a pain in the ass. And I don't know if it would add much. But I guess it just, yeah, it felt right to do like a little glow up on talents just to get them to have a looking slightly nicer. Very tedious work, but I think it's about time we can just delete these unused ones. Okay, so that'll be talents glowed up. And oof. So visual effect for sacrifice. I mean, is the game working? So let's do some bugs before we tackle more. Yeah, I guess the next thing would be artifacts, where hopefully what we're doing is we're using existing, like, so if the proc is crit, then we just use the same symbol for crit, and if the outcome is heal, then we use sort of, you know, consistent symbols. Okay, Rampart's not. Let's do test and fix Sky Ripper. Let's see what was going on there. So characters, no, player controller, Sky Ripper. And see what the bug is. So ranged weapon? No. Okay, that'll be our problem then. Yeah, I can see why. Is it though? So we go weapons, Sky Ripper, and this should be so it has chain. No, it should just do the electrify buff. I think it should be the same with Skagnask as well. So yeah, we just remove the chaining from this. And then in return, we'll give it like double, give it much more AoE. Two, three, wait, what did I do? 2, 3, 4, 5. guess it doesn't need a chain. And we'll just do the same with Sky Ripper. But this time we'll keep the AoE low. The range, yeah, like 2, keep the range low. But we'll make the crit rate, yeah, that's good, the crit rate's fine. And we'll make the damage like a lot more, so we'll start at 24, 28, 32, 36. And oof, that's going to be so off balance, but we'll get there. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So let's try it again. And yeah, why does it look like the hero starts with an empty HP? But I didn't even notice that earlier. Okay, so when the hero spawns, yeah, because I took it out the start method, didn't I? Okay, so this is like copied a few times now. I should make like should wrap that up in a function. Okay. Hey, yeah, looking nice. Looking nice. Okay, what's happening? Consume just isn't happening. So yeah, what happens when we do consume? So yeah, Sky Ripper, consume. Okay, so it's friendly. Okay, so yeah, why isn't this working? I'm pretty sure I got it working when I first made it. I should make sure I get consume. Oh, I think the heat is slowing me down a lot. Okay, consume. Okay, so it won't do it if its HP is full. Okay, is that the issue then? So I need to go get her, and then he'll do it. Okay. Okay, yeah, it's totally working. It's just he won't do it if his HP is full. But again, we need that, like, strong visual effect of, like, something you're doing is hurting your own units. So, like, yeah. So, like, sacrifice kills your lowest friendly unit and heals all of your guys. And consume damages a nearby ally to heal the player. So yeah, some kind of big demonic energy effect. So yeah, like a pillar from the sky. Would that work for both of them, or does that feel cheap? Because the pillar from the sky is like nice and big and obvious. And I'm thinking even like it comes down and like vaporizes them and burns like a generic bean up. But the consume should be like the beam, but from the player. Like fires a projectile from consumed unit to hero. Edgelord. Redo Edgelord. I think that's kind of not on the agenda right now. So Edgelord at the moment. Yeah, let's get this. Let's knock this off the list. Okay. So we've got skeleton, then down here we've got Edgelord. Like, yeah, we could just do a bit more with him. But yeah, like we're using the same deal as the knight, which I think is fine. It saves me time. But what if we had some like big old horns coming off his helmet? Okay, I will do a temporary third layer to make my life easier. That gives him a bit more personality, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna like call that done. The key thing that I was interested in here was just because he kind of ended up looking like a revived human knight, which is not really what we want. Just giving a little bit more to set him aside. So sprites, characters. And I just need to double check what the rows is. So it should be standardized, so I don't need to check each time, but it's not. So it is 5 it's 11. So if I put this out at 11, that's where it is. Characters, black beans. Good. Okay, I'm going to call that done. Just trying to scratch these things off the list. Okay, so the sprite for... So we go to weapons, spicy weapons, and these books are way too big. So unfortunately, there's not really an easy way to fix that. I can't just like shrink it, you know? Can I? No, I don't think so. So really would have to take like a fraction of this space. Okay, well that's not too bad for the shape. It's a bit wonky, but yeah, in theory that works. Just to save myself some bloody time. Just keeping the integrity of that outer line. And that is definitely considerably smaller. And I just need to kind of do the same effect again. Should it be even smaller than that? I mean, it's okay if it's a little bit big. But yeah, maybe we can just really inch it down. So yeah, it's considerably smaller. Okay, that wasn't too painful. So then I would need to before I do that, and then draw that again. So it's quite simple. The first step is this. damn it, I'm a moron. So seems to be a running theme in my life. Fixed. And then just big flames. Continuous. Yeah, nothing too fancy. Just more fire coming off the book. Okay, so that'll be that. Sacrifice sprite is too big. Banshee Cry visual effect. So I feel like I'm still not decided on the Banshee Cry, because I was thinking what might be simpler is just when they die, they leave like a frost explosion. Rather than doing the debuff. Because, yeah, they kind of have that debuff effect, but it's like it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel that useful. Throws things out of balance a bit. So, yeah, Banshee. Banshee should have Frost Explosion instead of debuff effect. Which means I need to make a Frost Explosion, which could just well be the Fire Explosion, but with blue. That's probably fine. Again, I never intended to spend much time working on the art for this game. It's all about the gameplay. Improved army approaching effect in ramparts. Yeah, so in ramparts we got these like little balls coming towards the player, and we want them to like. We could just do a bit better with them, maybe, because it just seems a bit weird, especially as the graphics of the game gets better. It just looks weirder and weirder. So, yeah. And glow up artifacts. I think I should put this near the top, so that can be tomorrow's thing. Tomorrow I have all day to work on the game, which is nice. So let's figure out. Well, yeah, and then ultimate effects. So like, yeah, dash trail, big slash effect. Yeah. Like more so because like Sean says to me, man, and then his guys appear, and that's good. I think for the knockback, so I'm going to go into going to take this knockback moment. So almost all of them, but you know, we can start messing with it a bit. Felicity, but no, Felicity. Oh yeah, Felicity can have one too. Asthma, yeah. So that's actually most of them, but not this one. That's going to come from something else. And then Archibald. Tisselef should have like negative knockback. Yeah. And then we can kind of edit it as we go. And I think essentially what I want to do is kind of, yeah, like this doesn't quite do it. What I just need is for each one to feel epic. Okay, yeah, so this one is for like my arrow droplets. So this will be like visual, general visual. So like the meteor, instead of like a ball falling, it should be like solid white line appears and then the explosion, you know, so you sort of see the after effect. Right, I need to go to the toilet and have a little smoke. And then, yeah, try and tidy up my to-do list a bit. When I have a to-do list that I hate, I end up kind of scrubbing through it over and over again, but that does help. It does help with the sort of staying honest and staying on the project, you know. Makes it easier. So let's deal with these. Then we do a round of SFX, and yeah, I'm gonna have to look at each hero's ultimate and just kind of get a feel for it. This is the design one. Oof. Stages, yeah. Well, we're getting there. We're getting to the art stage. So I'll do this, and then I'll just attack this at whatever angle to try and chip off some of these bits. Yeah. And yeah, this is going to be funky because I'll have to write some new code for this because the projectile will have to come from... It'll be its own process. Like, we'll have to fire a projectile, except it would just be a visual effect from the target unit to the unit that did it. So that should be interesting. And then, yep, we're getting there. So yeah, if I smack artifacts and then just get that off the list, and we can come back to it again later. But at the moment, yeah, artifacts just look a bit too cheap, I think. Let me just check for reference. So if I look at artifacts, these are 64 by 64, so they should be 96 by 96. And so we've got a bit more pixel space to work with. And yeah, I mean, some of these are fine. Like, that can be our symbol for buff. But yeah, we will have more space to work with. And I mean, these aren't terrible. But yeah, some of the things have changed, and yeah, we'll just do that again. Make the sprite sheet bigger. So level select. No, character select is the script. Probably should be like, I don't know, should have a more, because it's not just character anymore. Okay, so stage.unlocked. Actually, the one I want to deal with first is the reviving. So yeah, let's dig into that. Ramparts is locked. So no, Ramparts is not locked. Ramparts should be open. Okay, let's test this first. because it can come up on the random, and I think that might be because of reasons. Might be because of the random thing. Okay, yeah, what's that? Okay, so use leaf. Let's just make sure this is happening. And let's just quickly have a look at leaves. I think this is all in title screen. Absolute mess really of like this is not standardized. So stages. Effect names, and then stage names. Yeah, like I already went through this. The ramparts. Okay, so that's just happening after. So that's okay. I see. All right, so yeah, because I guess I made that. Why does this have to be a routine? Because we have to do a wait until, right? Okay. So shall we just put that there then? So stage.unlocked. So this is in start. So we can just put this. This would just go in the awake routine. And that should do it. And then we could have more problems with factions. I don't know why. Guess we'll run into that later if that's the case. So let's try this then. Done. Easy. Good. but then we never get it as a random stage. Ah, I think I know why. Yeah, okay, so because it was unlocked by the time we pressed the random button. Okay. Okay, now for this resurrecting, right? Okay, so he did his thing, but nothing came of it. Oh, I think I know why. I think I know why. I know why. So let's confirm this. Like, if this doesn't show up, then I think I know what the bug is. Oh no, so we get to raise undead. obviously this was working before. I feel like I have to clarify because it's embarrassing otherwise. But this did work. It's just something I've changed has caused it to not work. Okay, so the enemy is not on the dead list. So why is it not on the dead list? This is to do with the new teams. Just getting the sibling index so I can see exactly which one. Okay, so it gets removed from the dead list. Gets removed from the dead list. So it gets removed from the dead list, but why? Because it got spawned. I'm wondering why is it getting it from the bottom of the pile? So when we spawn something, it's actually getting the last one? I would think it would get the first one. Ah, because it's like going, this one is, and then it's like all of them get selected at some point. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So yeah, I put the break in to say, like, look, if you found one, then stop. No need to keep going through them all if you found one. So that now it should start taking from the top. So if we go to ally container, it's going to be the first zombie. Yeah. And so we're trying to revive. Yeah, so the character never goes for... So why does this never happen? Why do we never get this one? Why is this debug not happening? Oh, is it because... I think I know why. Because I'm an idiot. So... this is update all targets, but then we've got update hero. Yeah, so that should start coming up then. Okay, so yeah, if so, that's confusing me. Oh, these look nice. Nice. So this one will be one, so that'll be this one. Okay, so can I make it so that they do the last one on the list? So what I want to do is make it like take the last one down, because I think basically the thing's getting respawned before the resurrect can happen. And why is it? Removing name from... How could that be? How is it that this is never happening? Oh, because... Oh my god, I'm an idiot. Okay, let's try that now. Yeah, so it's like they're respawned before I actually get to do the move. Although that's a bit funky, because it's like... Like, that wouldn't happen every time. No, that's not what's doing it. So I'll undo that. And then it's There we go. This is going to be it. Because yeah, we're basically checking if the target object is active, but for the undead, it wouldn't be active. Shh, that's going to be it. So it's like finding the target when it's dead, and then when it comes back to life, it's like, okay, yeah, do that to the target now. There we go. Looks like resurrection's back on the menu, boys. What? Okay, we've got other bugs happening though. Let's see. And how did Stoic Explosion even happen there? Because we've got the Grave God. Yeah, this is much prettier. Okay, I guess we'll test that. That's a bit of a curveball, but okay. So let's do... stop disappearing the mouse, for God's sake. And so we have blocked. Okay, character container attacker. So the subject character and the object character is this. Yeah, because we don't care about the attacker once we've done it. I guess that we could have attacker as the object character. But it wouldn't make a difference because in artifacts we're just interested. Yeah, do it on the object character. And the shooter is the subject character. And I think that's what went wrong. Because the explosion didn't know who to... Because yeah, it's asking for the shooter here. Yep, fixed. Yeah, we need sound effects for the explosion, which we don't have. But that's fixed. Good. Good, nice little find. Cheeky little bug. Yeah, armor just looks marginally nicer in the boots too. It's a nice touch. Good. Okay. Yeah, I guess in this case, and I get to feel like a real necromancer. My phone's about to die. Oh, it died. Well, we're very OP right now. Especially with Killer Summoner, seems to be quite powerful. It's fun seeing those little things on the floor. And yeah, I like these new sprites here. This is fun. Yeah. I mean, is it just me or is this game decent? When it all starts popping off. I don't think we should have a sound for when units spawn. Because it just happens all the time. Maybe super quiet would be okay. But yeah, that's that. I think I'm going to have a little smoke and then we'll do a little play test, but that is Resurrection fixed. And yeah, the game is going to be less noisy. Should be nice. So I think that's a big put. That would be a big put off for a lot of people. That's an instant ignore, take off wish list, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, making progress, good stuff. I hate these short days, but you know, I've got other shit to do, learning to drive, taking job interviews, mowing the lawn, looking after my children while my wife works. But you know, it's nice to be needed, isn't it? So I'll be back shortly. Okay, little play test in build so it runs smoother, and then we'll call it a day. Listen to some Asmongold while I play. Since no one's watching, I don't think it matters. And yeah, let's do this one. Ooh, a bit loud. I feel like playing as Basma, I'm going to end up with too many units. Buff. Buff. Something that combos with buff. More buff. Something that combos with the zombie, I guess. Or no, let's get resurrect. Oh, what's going on there? Oh. They just went like machine gun for a bit. Oh, what? How are enemies doing like machine gun? Something's gone wrong there. Okay, so we have bugs. I don't know what's going on there. Just weapons are cooling down instantly. So okay, that's that. I'm not going to mess with that now. Or maybe I should. So what is going on there? Something wrong with like removing buffs, but then why would that be for the goblins? So we'll try and do the exact same thing. check on the bat's wings. Okay, now what we really want to do is, so this is 0. Okay, that should do for now. I think I know what's happening. So units are getting buffed on my team as undead. Oh god, it never ends. Okay, interesting. So what should happen is on spawn, go remove buff. We go attack speed. So I feel like they were just getting infinite attack speed. And with this bug as well is that it might be quite difficult to test. So yeah, it is happening. So we've got units with really high, and like it makes sense that it would be quite fast, but that fast? Because yeah, we've got stacking buffs. We've got like Staff of Command happening more than once. And so the attack speed can go as high as 3. Or like higher than 3. Which sort of makes sense. What's hurting us? So it's like, yeah, they sort of get stronger and stronger. So on spawn, we should be removing all buffs. And we don't just remove it, we yeah. And then so we do on spawn, meaning they should lose their buffs. So I could just put one like, so like, yeah, if we've got, yeah, and Staff of Resurrection's doing something weird. Maybe, because I didn't really want to do this, but it's like, yeah, when we make a character, we sort of just reset its stats, but I was hoping that just removing the buffs would do that. So to test this properly, I'll have to like really zone in on things, because yeah, like those archers just ended up machine gunning, but they shouldn't have even had the buff, because so they would have got revived and then respawned, but then not lost their buffs, or like kept the attack speed from their buffs. It's possible that because I was doing that from inside a build, because in this version it seemed fine. It was like my guys were doing that. Okay, well that's for next time. But next time we'll do artifacts, and yeah, try and tackle these bugs a bit. Otherwise, just play. But yeah, reviving, goddamn reviving. It's worth it though. It is a very cool mechanic. But yeah, well, nobody joined me today. But thanks to anyone who's watching after the fact. If you got this far, obviously subscribes absolutely make my day. And I'll be back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Cheers. Thanks very much. Bye.